Mr. Henderson, Part 2, Chapter 6, Rhododendrons.
I was who I was, and it was never going to change, no matter how hard I tried. It was sad, realizing there was no replacing me. This was it. This was my existence. This was my story. Lost in a whirlwind, the storm of life had pulled me apart. For years, my two selves battled side by side, yet never knowing the existence of one another. I was destructive, filled with angst and rage. I tried to forgive, but I couldn't. I wanted myself back together, but I didn't know how. Always angry. Angry with them, angry with myself. For over 20 years, I lived in shit. I was a mess, a fake, a fraud, some other version of myself painted on with shitty paints. Looking back, I couldn't acknowledge that little soul inside. I didn't want to pay him any attention. I didn't want to listen. If we had, we would have fallen to pieces. And there was nothing to glue us back together. I was beaten down, repressed, told to toughen up. I was reminded that this world was a heavy place, and all I ever felt was heavy, weighed down by other people's fears and worries. I was misguided by their words of contempt and misery. My family, my father, always reminding me that I was a piece of shit. Fuck. It's a special day when you realize that you're a fucking mess. Moving day. Sandy, my girlfriend, and I had just purchased our first home. 5577 West Henderson Way, corner of Mainland and 10th, across the street from the quaint cottage with the award-winning and praiseworthy rhododendrons. Sandy was so excited to start the next phase of our lives. I was struggling. I wasn't happy, but I thought no one ever was. I was a good-looking man, with a strong jawline and abs for days, great teeth, big hands, and a set of balls you could be proud of. I was captain of my high school wrestling team. I took pride in my appearance. I was a fucking Viking god. But there was treachery in this beauty. Look, Kathy was a good-looking woman, but it was clear I needed something more. I found myself fantasizing of something more fulfilling, something of substance with taste, a person who I could make the centerpiece of my life. And Sandy wasn't that. Sandy and I met in high school. We were high school sweethearts. We did decide to take a break when she went off to study nursing at Oaks University. Go Badgers! I took that time to experiment, to dabble. I thought I had gotten it out of my system. I thought I was fine as I was. I had accepted my life, or so I thought. I know I blamed Kathy for a lot. Sandy. Fuck, she had a shitty taste in furniture and no sense of feng shui. I remember that day vividly, moving into our humble home. So much stuff, her bits and pieces scattered all over the sidewalk. Although I was unhappy, I was proud. Proud of our new home, a new opportunity. I was going to make this place my own. Over the years, I had found a new love for gardening, and this property was going to be my oasis. In the weeks to follow, I was out mowing my lawn, rain or shine. It was my time. I was free out on the green. I was happiest bent over with my nose deep in my roses. My hedges were the talk of the neighborhood. Life was good as my gardens began to bloom and blossom. I had found my rhythm. I was happy. However, everything changed that cool spring night in May. It was 2 a.m, and I awoke to a strange noise, a rustling. At first I thought it might have been Kathy. She was a restless sleeper. I soon realized that the bedroom window was wide open. I was certain that I had closed it the night before as I had climbed into bed. Had something or someone been in my room? That morning, while Sandy and I had our breakfast, I mentioned my strange occurrence from the night before. She laughed it off. "You were dreaming, silly." I wasn't silly. I knew what I heard. Something or someone had been in our room. Over the next few nights, I kept a baseball bat close as I slept. If someone was coming for me, I was not going down without a fight. But for the rest of the week, I heard not another peep. Maybe Sandy was right, for once. It must have been my imagination. Then, that night, I was startled awake. I felt eyes upon me. I could hear movement in the corner of the room. My mind was rushing. This was definitely not a dream. I slowly moved my hand toward the bat, my heart racing. I was going to beat the living shit out of this fucker. With the bat in hand, I flicked on the bedside. The room was empty. Sandy jolted awake. "What? What?" she shouted. I told her to go back to sleep. It was nothing. It must have been a dream. That morning, as Kathy and I engaged in coitus, Kathy noticed that a tuft, a lock of my golden mane, was missing. What the actual fuck? A lock of my hair? Why? I felt violated. The anxiety of my childhood rushing back. I had been exposed. I was vulnerable. My sanctuary had been corrupted. No longer invincible, my mind began unraveling. What else did they take? Would they be back? Was I secretly aroused? That night, Kathy did her best to calm me, but I couldn't sleep. The following day, we decided to introduce ourselves to our neighbors. Perhaps they had heard or seen something. Up the walkway we went, past the geraniums and the flowers of this well-established home. The doorbell chimed.
Hello.
Sandy and I were greeted by a well-spoken and handsome man.
Please do come in.
His eccentric style and well-coiffed hair spoke of an older gentleman stuck in the
I
past.
bought that.
We marveled at his strange collection of antiques and taxidermy creatures.
Oh, yes.
Old-time music softly filled the air as he toured us through his curious home. He was kind and offered us a
Would you like
beverage.
a beverage?
Politely declining, I shared my story of my terrifying encounter and about the lock of my stolen hair. He was still. He took my hand in his, and with a calm, steady voice, he reassured me that I was safe, that I had nothing to fear.
No need to concern yourself.
And strangely, I believed
In
him.
the past, we had problems with
He
strays.
had kind eyes and a gentleness about him. The world around me seemed to melt away.
Don't worry.
I had almost forgotten why I had come.
You're fine.
For the first time in a long time, I felt almost safe. He slowly reached for my broad, muscled chest, his hands warm and welcoming. I could feel a warmth brewing in my loins. I wanted to surrender, but I couldn't. I ached.
You can stop there, yes? Yeah. Intimacy. Yes. He did struggle with that one. Jerry. So, what do you think? Good? Yes? I've been working on that section for the past few months. trying to gain insight into the psychology of Jerry. Oh, your delivery is brilliant, by the way. You sound remarkably like him. In the end, Jerry was unable to reconcile with his past. Life was hard for him. Always torn in two, that one. Unable to accept himself for who he was. Tragic, really. Are you hungry? Steak? I have some lovely tenderloin marinating in the fridge. No? Oh, perhaps some tea then. Something stronger. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, will you? No, you won't. Will you? Don't get up. Oh, let's unlock that for you. There. There we are. Scotch? Yes. On the rocks. I did my research. Go on. Drink it. Cheers. It was remarkably challenging getting you here, but well worth it in the end, I think. Right, let's carry on. I have a bit more for you to rehearse. I suppose we don't need to read through the blossoming romance. No need for foreplay. Let's get straight to the climax. Go on.
The shadowy hand of depravity crept close. I tried to numb the urges. Scotch was generally the drink of choice. Of course, it was never enough. Like a depraved, pathetic, and predictable wretch, I came prowling back. One feeble and fumbling finger at a time, slowly unbuttoning my temptations. I wanted to linger in the deviance, delay in smutty distraction of your polite molestations. The scent of the sweaty untidiness of our entangled limbs, your robust fragrance of sandalwood and eccentricity pulling me in. I rendered a part of myself to your salacious pleasures. They were brilliant. But was it love? I was compelled, intrigued by the impulse, yet I was disgusted by my actions. My gut burned with guilt and shame. I felt guilt because I was a fucking bus driver. I should have demanded more of myself. I felt shame for wanting what I wanted. The desire for you was debilitating. You judged me. Your disappointment oozed from every pore. Affronted by my cowardice, you criticized me for my inability to honor myself, accusing me that I was unwilling to hand over that part of myself so that I could truly be. And I suffered. I wanted salvation, but all I felt was struggle. I tried to salvage what remained of my broken self, but all that was left was carnage and this empty carcass. The sun had truly set upon my meadow of happiness. I was but a wilted flower, a drooping daisy. I was lost in my madness. Lunacy left me wandering the serpentine halls of a twisted and split mind. Trapped, locked within my closet, loathing away, I tried. I tried running away, but you kept bringing me back. I was detached but tethered, unable to break from your lure and from the truth. One cannot go back once one has tasted life, no matter how bitter it tastes.
Good boy.
Oh, Jerry, you were a man of complexity. You were loved, weren't you? Sadly, your life was not long enough on this earth. However, you impacted many, especially our dear friend Mr. Henderson. You left a hole in his heart that shall never be filled. All that is left is but a memory, soon to fade. Tonight the smouldering fire gently warms the air. Mr. Henderson and his newfound friend Mr. McLean enjoy a splash of scotch as they show reverence for dear, sweet Jerry Armstrong. As the final hours of twilight begin to dim, back we go, henceforth from where we came, backing away from the broken hearts and heavy memories, backing into the flames of a dying fire, and up through the chimney we go, the hazy bloom of smoke billowing forth as the cinders from the fire below slowly cool in the chilly winter's air. Drifting away from this quaint log cabin nestled deep within the lush woods of the Rocky Mountains. Away from the uncertainties of a dark and leaden future. Dissipating, evaporating, until there is nothing left. Forgotten. Please hold tight to the ones you love. For once they are gone, they are gone. And in the darkness of this cold and miserable life, these people may be the ember, the divine spark that allows the inferno to burn on and blaze bright. For in a world that seeks to extinguish our fire, we, the pioneers, must forever fight to stay alight.
Thank you for listening to Mr. Henderson. I'm Von Ray, the writer, creator, and director. The show stars myself as Mr. Henderson and Kyle Kaczmarzyk as the narrator. Also, this episode featured Daniel Jordan as Jonathan McLean. Sound design and co-directed by Kyle Kaczmarzyk. We hope you enjoyed your time with us today. See you next time.